I got every achievement in the game. I got the platinum trophy. I didn't do it to get the trophy. I did it to get every available free unit that this game was offering. So every day I'd go into quick match and try to knock some of them out. But you can see here, you can't even get everything done. When Ultron comes out, they're gonna give some more, and then I'll be able to get this daring dramatist. I've already got the heroic ally. That's actually kind of dope. It's not anything too crazy, but I don't really see anybody with those titles in game. So getting that next level one, that's gonna be crazy. See, there's more units here, but not as many as the heroic journey. So I knocked that out, but now it's time to start using Loki. And in this game, we didn't ban Bruce Banner because we see somebody on our team has slotted in as Bruce. Bruce is one of those players you want to ban because you don't want to see that Namor combo out there. And look, our team is lying. They're asking us, who you playing, gang? And he's going to say Thor. So that team, they didn't ban Bruce Banner, but they're not going to use Bruce Banner, and they're not going to use Namor. I've been on the other side of that so many times that when my team wouldn't ban Bruce and they wouldn't use him, I would use him, but then I couldn't get anybody on my team to use Namor. I'd have to go in the chat like, hey, somebody use Namor. They still wouldn't use Namor. Same thing with Groot. You don't ban Groot and then you don't use Groot. I hate it when that happens because usually the team that uses the player that they didn't ban is the one that wins. But we've got the stronger combo. We've got Bruce and Namor going crazy. And the ban phase is really an IQ test, and a lot of people fail this. But look at this. See, we got somebody, we got a Psylocke trying to dive. We just popped that rune, baby. See, this is why I like Loki. Because Cloak and Dagger, they're great, but they have range issues. You can't get certain people if they're too far away. And then also, you do have abilities to get away and escape divers. But once you use your cooldowns, if you didn't kill them, because sometimes you don't kill them, some of them are slippery. And also, what if it's somebody like Thor with a lot of health, a lot of HP, right? If you don't kill them, then you're dead. Once your cooldowns are done, that's it. But with Loki, and also with Invisible Woman, I found out that Invisible Woman is incredible. I've been using her lately because she can just go invisible anytime there's danger. And then you just wait for your jump to come back. Once your jump is back, you can get back in the fight. You can start healing. You can throw up your shield. If they dive you again, you jump out of there again. Look, I'm going to disappear. You can't kill me, baby. Loki's got 3 different ways to escape a dive. You can go invisible. You can switch to another clone. And you can throw down the rune. So see, we take it to the next level. We're making it splash out here. After I've been playing so much now with Cloak and Dagger and then Invisible Woman and learning to stay alive, now I'm ready to use Loki. The only thing is, because Loki is so versatile and he can go anywhere on the map, I have to learn all these maps over again. Because there's so many different heights and levels you can go to that I would never think to go to, because you can't get up there with most characters. So that's why I've got to play a bunch of games with Loki to figure this out. I've got to rewire my brain now to play all of these maps differently because there's so many more possibilities and it's so much fun. I have to say, I think playing a strategist is the most fun role to play. When I first picked up this game, I never played strategist, never gave it a try, mainly because I figured I wouldn't know what I was doing. How am I going to play that strategy? I'm just getting used to the game. But a strategist is a duelist. You can still duel, you can still get kills, you just gotta heal. So just heal first. When everybody's healed up, then you let it fly on the enemy. Then when somebody goes low, you heal them. And then once they're back to full, you hit the enemy. Because everybody's slotting into the duelist. When you get into a game, everybody wants to play duelist. If you play strategist, you're a duelist too. Baby, look at me fleeing the fight again. I have really lowered the amount of deaths I'm getting per game with Loki. And I did mess up here. Look, I've switched, but I really should have thrown one somewhere else and then switched. I'm telling you, I'm still making mistakes. I haven't figured this out. This is still brand new to me with Loki, but I really love playing with Loki. He is too much fun. And there's just so much to think about. What strategy do you want to play? You see, I'm being very aggressive here in this first round. I've used the rune many times on the point to make sure that we keep capturing it. We keep staying in the fight. I use it through a lot of their ultimates, like right here. I'm using it again. I like to just use my cooldowns. I don't want to wait for the perfect moment. Obviously, it's nice when you can save a tank. You see something coming, you have it ready. But once it comes back up, if I see a moment where we can take advantage, I let it fly. I'm not shy to let my cooldowns fly. You know the rules. I like to play very aggressive. That's why I like Cap, because Cap is just jumping back there. Although they're going to be nerfing Cap again. Did you see that stuff coming up with Ultron? They're nerfing him again. That's why it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't buy his skin just yet. Save all the units. Maybe I should use the skin on Loki. Maybe I should get that presidential Loki skin. That one looks tough. But there's rumors that they're going to bring back some older skins, and there's another Captain America skin. It's like a galactic something. It doesn't even look like Cap. So maybe I should wait and see if they release that. The only thing is we don't know what that's going to cost. Because right now I can afford the bundles that are $2,200, maybe $2,400. But sometimes they put them at $2,800. So if that becomes $2,800, maybe I should let a Loki fly, and then I'll have some left over. And then later, maybe a few months later, I'll have enough to get another one that's around $1,600. Right? Some of them are at 16, some are at 14. Now look at that cheese. Cap just took out one of my clones, but then I put it right back. So he's going to have to turn his head again. He's going to have to get off the point if he wants to go get that again. And we're just laying down all types of work. Actually, I should have done that sooner. I waited too long to throw down that rune. That's tough. We got to get the timing down, but nobody knows I'm up here. See, I should have been doing this in the first round. Take the high ground. Where's Psylocke? All of a sudden, she's no longer up here worrying about me. Maybe she got scared when I popped that rune, baby. She said maybe it's just a waste of time to keep going after him. I don't know. But I am letting it fly back there on their supports, and I'm healing at the same time. My Hulk is getting healed. And every time they use, see, they love to do that. They love to stack their ultimates. This team, they must be on comms. They really are, because it seems like they're doing this every single time. So we're going to let this fly. Give them a boost down there. The damage is crazy. We're healing. We're doing damage. That Groot's going crazy. I'm going to do it again. Put that back there, because in order to attack those melee characters, they have to get off the point momentarily to go attack. Make them turn their head. That's another strategy I've been using with Loki. Just put a clone somewhere where the enemy has to turn their back. And that, see, I shouldn't have gone invisible like that, because now that clone's back there. I don't think they can see the battlefield. That's another mistake. I'm making hella mistakes as I'm looking back at this gameplay. Definitely not perfect. Once I figure this all out, wow, Loki is probably going to be crazy for me, because you're just putting it all together. Everything you've learned with everybody else, with Mantis, with Cloak, with Invisible Woman. Loki can do that plus more. And that was aggressive. That was a great ultimate right there. To use that, make sure we get the point, because we're down 81% to zip. But let's go get this dub. Let's go get them up out of here. Lay these down, get real aggressive now. See, they're back there in their spawn. It doesn't really matter, because they can't really hit that clone anyway. That's good clone placement. And that's what I like. I like that you get to choose. Sometimes you're going to be real crazy with the angles, with the clones, and sometimes you're just going to brute force. Because you know, I mean, look at that. I can't even see the enemy, but I know that if I'm healing, I'm dealing at the same time. Because you know that Hulk or whoever's up there, they're fighting somebody. So we're doing damage and healing at the same time. You can't do that with Cloak and Dagger. You'd have to be so much closer, and you wouldn't have that level of damage at that distance either. And that's the problem with Invisible Woman. She has great survivability, much better than Cloak and Dagger, but she doesn't have the damage. She can't do as much damage as Cloak and Dagger, but Loki has the range and the damage, and he's got 3 times the survivability. So that's why I said, you know what? It's time to let it fly. Let me throw out that cape first. Okay, now we're going to let this fly just to make sure. Oh, they're going to ult too, baby. We're going to double ult. Is that the enemy team ulting when we're ulting? I don't know. Or maybe it was our, I don't know who did that. But anyway, that's one thing I wish they would change. When an ult goes out, they should make it obvious who's ulted. Is it your team's ult or the other team? Maybe there should be a color that shows the difference, or maybe the audible message. Maybe the commentary should be different, because a lot of times I hear something go off and I'm like, is that ours or theirs? You never, am I the only one that doesn't know whose ult it is when it's going out? Let me know in the comments section. That's my first competitive MVP with Loki. And yes, we're back up to platinum. I keep going back down to gold and then going right back up to platinum. So I know I'm making progress because every time I do go down to gold, the gold games are just easy. They feel so much easier than before and I go right back to platinum. But then I get unlucky in platinum, a losing streak. And I'm actually gonna show you a losing streak right now where I go back down to gold. This was before I started using Loki. This was when I was using Invisible Woman. But it's just crazy. I had 3 games in a row. Actually, no, I think I had 4 games in a row where a teammate on my team quit. And I had 1 game where 2 teammates quit again. So look at this game. We win this game. Yo Girl's Toy. He was using Mr. Fantastic. He's on the other team. In the next game, he's on my team, but then he quits. Look at that. He quits after the first round. And the funny thing is, when this guy quits, because we didn't have a good first round, but we were putting up a fight. 5v6, we were holding our own. If he was here, maybe we get the stop. I know it didn't seem likely, but we might have been able to hold them off on this point because we did a good job. We wasted a few minutes. That's why you can't quit, because you never know. You might get that stop. I've gotten the stop before. It's just like, why are you playing competitive if you want to quit? I just don't understand. But see, we're fighting. We got it down to 1 minute and 30 seconds, but now they are starting to take over. They're gonna pop their ults. You see, now we're in trouble because we were already down 1. So now we're going down to the ground. We're gonna lose this game, but we put up a fight. But why are you playing competitive if you're quitting? What is the point of doing that? When you quit, you ruin it for everybody else. What needs to happen is the person that quits, they need to go down all the points that the team would have gone down. Instead of us going down 20 or 18 or whatever, just put it all on the person that quit. Lower them down a full level when they quit. Let them play with the noobs down there. And this is why it was not a good idea that they added in those chrono cards, because people are quitting like crazy. So here's another quit, the very next game. Look at this guy, he's in the chat, why Iron Man? He was a Lord Iron Man, and they banned him, the other team. I don't know how they knew he had Iron Man, but they got him up out of there. So he's still complaining at the start of the match, and then he is gonna quit early on. He quit so early that this game doesn't count. So I actually didn't go down a level because of this quit. I switched to Cat because we had 3 healers. We didn't need 3 healers. But look, we were actually maybe even gonna win this game. We captured the point, but he just didn't want to play as a tank or whoever he was using. So he's out of there. That game doesn't count. The very next game after that, we get another quit. So now we're back in gold because he quit. And then in the next game, oh my goodness, we get 2 more quits. Holy moly. Why don't these people just stay in quick match? Give that guy a map. Merch is now available at chrissmooth.com. Shipping worldwide. My songs, He Quit the Game, Lob City, and My Camo are now available on all streaming platforms. But look what I'm gonna do to that. I'm gonna block that dunk. Get that cheese out of here. When I did that, I said, all right, Cat might be the character for me. What rhymes with cash? I just put Doctor Strange to the floor.